You are here on purpose with a purpose by design. Thank you for showing up today. Well, this is going to be another amazing episode because today I have my very good friend, Riel, with me. Now, Riel, I am going to try to say your full name, and then you're going to correct me here in front of everybody. And then I'm going to say it the right way so that we all know how to say it. All right. So, Nompumelelo, is that right? Nompumelelo?
Nompumelelo.
Nompumelelo, is that right?
Yes,
All
yes.
right.
You said it
Riel.
perfect.
Oh, good. And then the last name, Kunini or Kunin? Kunin?
Kunene. Kunene.
Kunene.
Yes.
Wow, isn't that a beautiful name that she has? Now, I call her Riel because that I don't mess up. But
Just keep
I
it
wanted
real.
you to hear her whole name. And would you say your whole name for us? Because I know you won't mess it up.
Nompumelelo Real Kunene.
Beautiful, beautiful. And Riel is a dear friend of mine. And we also do a lot of work together in the motivational speaking world and in the author's world and in the coaching world. And she has a wealth of knowledge, as you already know from what you heard me say about her. So in a moment, we're going to have Riel, you know, introduce herself a little bit more and tell us a little bit more about her story. And she has a message to share with us to give us hope and instruction and guidance today. But Riel, before we do that, you and I both share something in common, and it's a person. And he's our
Yes.
mentor, the legendary Les Brown. And I wanted to share one of his quotes today. And it says this: ask yourself, if you are one of the good people that successful people want to be around. Now, when I read that, I literally read it, Riel, and I was like, oh, pause and reflect.
Yeah.
Am I one of those people? Like, really pause and reflect. And I had to think about people that are successful in any stage of their life. Who are those people that I want to be around? And of course, I just took that right back to Les in general, right? Because he quoted it.
Mhm.
What is it about him that I love to be around? And so many people want to be around Mr. Les Brown, and that's why he's been able to help so many of us. So,
Yeah.
from your unique perspective, what does that quote mean to you?
Oh my goodness. You've just dropped like a bomb in front of my face right now. Okay. Okay, where do I even start, really? But honestly, like with me listening to this quote, it asked me really, am I a naysayer in someone's life? Am
Mm,
I the king Uzziah or Uzziah, who was more like kind of a blockage before people so that they can see God? Am I an inspiration to those around me, to those who look at me, to those who count on me? Am I that person that they
wow.
need? Yeah. And he also continued, like Mr. Les Brown, he continued that surround yourself with only quality people. These are the people who will take you to your destination. These are the people who will hold you accountable for all of your actions. So, am I that one? That's how I view it.
Oh, that brings it home, doesn't it? Like,
Yeah.
am
Yeah.
I that one? I love that.
Mhm.
Well,
Yeah.
Riel, I know you have an amazing speech, message, presentation, however you want to word it for us today. And I've personally been able to hear you speak before and have heard the power of your messages. I've had the treasure of being on your podcast. And I just know that you operate up here in this higher realm and that you just pull people up with you and to a place of inspiring and ready to take action. And I'm so excited for this time today. Riel, take it away and
Um,
encourage us today.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I always call you my sister from another mother because you've played that role of being a sister to me. So thank you so much, Sister Pamela, for inviting me to share some nuggets on how to really rise to greater heights. So my name is Real Kunene, and yes, I am an energetic professional speaker. I am also the author to Rise to Greater Heights book, to Human Rights book, and I am also compiling an amazing, amazing book, Resilience to Greatness. All of these books really, they are more of a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And so, as someone who specializes on mindset, resilience, as well as transformation, I believe that we're in full control of our own choices. My title, Rise to Greater Heights, has inspired and empowered many to pursue their professional and personal passion to become go getters. So, to our viewers online, please feel free. Just put in the chat box if you are watching online. If you have any questions for me, put in the chat box and then I'm going to attend to your questions at the end of my presentation. So before I continue, I just want to double check. I always like double checking. I just want to double check if I'm in the right platform here. How many of you can say that I have never, ever complained in life? Never, ever complained in life. Seemingly I am in the right platform because sometimes in life we go complaining, but today I just want you to identify what's holding you back. If you can just write it down, what's holding me back? What's holding you back from going confident in the direction of your dreams? What's holding you back from chasing after success? Is it fear, mediocrity, distraction, or maybe procrastination? What's holding you back? What's really holding you back? It's so essential to assess your goals progress, good people, because setting and achieving big goals can be difficult at times. We all have dreams that we're hoping to achieve maybe in our careers, but it feels like there is something just standing in your way. How many of you have ever been in a situation where you felt like the doubts that you have, they then transformed into fears?
Yes.
Yeah, the doubts that you ever had transformed into fears. I'm going to repeat this because doubting yourself can hold you back from living an amazing life. It's very easy to fear being judged and being worried about what others think. In fact, it stops you from acting, making you afraid to even take the first step in life. So, good people, stop letting your fears hold you back. The only remedy that cures your fears is action. So, go for your goals and succeed. You may ask me why? Because you can have the drive within you to become what you really want in life. Can you say this after me? I can have the drive within me to become what I really want in life. Yeah. It was Barack Obama who once said, "The future rewards those who press on." I don't have time to feel sorry for myself. I don't have time to complain. I'm going to press on. And this message, it stirred something within me. So let's go out there and press on. Tell yourself, no matter what kind of challenge comes your way, I'm going to press on. And it's so funny how my mom and dad gave me this beautiful, beautiful name, Nompumelelo. Nompumelelo, in my own language, it means mother of all success. And I know my sister Pamela, she had some challenges saying my official first name, Nompumelelo. But one day she's gonna surprise me. She's gonna surprise me. So Nompumelelo really, it means that no matter what kind of challenges I'm coming across, I'll have to press on. I'll have to chase after success. But in order for you like to chase after success, you need a mentor or you need a coach who will hold you accountable for the goals that you have. This mentor and a coach that will align you with your goals. So my advice to anyone who is out there who is interested in mentorship or coaching, being mentored is one of the most valuable and effective development opportunities you can ever get out there. I'm telling you. So, if I may ask you, how many of you have dreams and goals that you want to achieve maybe in the next 6 months? Yeah, I want you, as you think about your dreams and goals, to put this down. Rise to greater heights. Rise to greater heights, because you need to be clear about your career goals to gain guidance on professional development. So, as a coach and a mentor, my goal really is to study your current situation, identify your limiting beliefs and other potential obstacles that you may face, and then design a plan of inspired action to empower you to achieve specific outcomes in your life. As flight attendants always say that put on your oxygen mask first before you assist others, because if you don't, you and the other person you're trying to help could possibly go down. So I would encourage you really to go out there, search for a mentor, search for a coach who will hold you accountable for your actions, for everything that you do in life. You need someone to hold you accountable. You may be surprised because even with mentors and coaches, they also have their own mentors. They also have their own coaches who holds them accountable. Because at the end of the day, failure shouldn't be our undertaker, but an opportunity to begin again and again as long as you learn from it. Blaming others of not reaching your goals can paralyze you in life, and it can make your dreams become impossible. So please, good people, handle failure with dignity. Handle failure with dignity, because you can never ever succeed in life without failing first. And remember that you have a right for everything in this world. You were born with 30 universal human rights, and those human rights can never ever be taken away from you. These are rights that you were born with it and you will die with them. And you really don't have to be politically involved to know about your human rights or to learn about your human rights. All human beings are entitled to them, and you can never ever be excluded from your own human rights. Maybe you may be asking, exactly what do you mean when you say human rights? I've heard so many people talking about human rights. I can't have that confidence to go out there and start teaching and start telling people about their human rights. What are human rights really? I know many people, they might think of God when they think of human rights. They might think of freedom when they think of human rights. And you're absolutely right when you think that way, because human rights are just the fundamental rights and freedoms that are all inherent to all human beings, regardless of your gender, nationality, place of residency, sex, ethnicity, religion, or even your skin color. Human rights are not just about the law. Thus, human rights are non-discriminatory, meaning all human beings are entitled to them. And remember that a right is a freedom of some kind. It doesn't matter where we are born or what kind of family we are born into. We all have the internal recognition of the moral quality of one's motives and actions. We are all born in this world and should be given the same opportunities and treat each other in such a way as proper to the relation of a brother. So I so wish you can just tell yourself that, you know what? I've already had it. Have had enough. I'll have to make a difference now. I'll have to make a difference in my life. To those who look at me as an inspiration, I'll have to make a difference in my community. Spread the good news. Be the bearer of good news always. But in order for you to make that difference, you've got to be hungry. You've got to be hungry like the hungry lion in the jungle. That hungry lion in the jungle, really, it doesn't matter what kind of animal comes his way. It doesn't matter if you're that giant elephant or that small squirrel by the jungle. All that hungry lion sees in front of his face is lunch. Lunch. And it's so funny because even with elephants, when they see a lion, what they do is that they run. It's all about the mindset. Once you believe, you become. They already told themselves that, you know what, I'm a lunch to that lion. So each and every time when I see that lion, I'll have to run. I believe that that's the mindset that we need in order for us to go out there and make a difference, spread the good news, tell people their human rights. Really, to me, the whole idea about the issue of human rights being violated and this and that. I can't be an activist. I can't just go out there and being on the street protesting. But I know that all human beings are entitled to these human rights. To me, honestly, it was the death of George Floyd that made me to realize that we need to stand for a world where no one shall live in fear because maybe of their skin color, and where the criminal justice system treats everyone fairly and equally. If you can remember very well, last year on May 25th, George Floyd died in police custody in Minneapolis, Minnesota, in your city, Sister Pam. And this 46-year-old black man, he was arrested and killed after a convenience store employee called 911 on Floyd's suspicion of passing a counterfeit $20 bill. The video that was captured by a bystander, it shows George Floyd pinned face down on the ground in handcuffs, and one of the police officers kneeling on his neck as he was pleading for help. I can't breathe. I can't breathe. And finally, he fell silent. May his soul rest in eternal peace. It is so impossible not to be outraged watching that video of the Minneapolis officer pressing his knee against Floyd's neck for a period initially reported to be 8 minutes and 46 seconds. I believe that everyone is born free and has the right to life. So no one should ever be subject to such unjustified violence. Hence, I am here to educate everyone to know their human rights. So, good people, this is a wake up call. This is a wake up call. But when that alarm clock goes off, please, please don't ever hit the snooze button. Don't be like, I will wake up in the next 2 minutes. I will wake up in the next 4 minutes. You know what? Forever is a long time. So why don't you wake up, get going, and chase after success and make a difference and try to identify exactly what's holding you back. You know, it's so funny. When I was in the eighth grade, I was nicknamed Phoenix. I was nicknamed Phoenix after writing a composition using the idiomatic expression that says, I rose from the ashes like a phoenix bird, meaning I became successful again. And it's so funny with that English teacher, really. She didn't know that the nickname Phoenix, it resonates with me. It also aligns with my destiny because for those of you who doesn't know the phoenix bird is a Greek mythological bird believed to rise from its own ashes after being buried like hundreds of years ago. This immortal creature acquires new life by rising from the ashes of its own ancestor, which represents our capacity for vision and success. So I want to encourage you as you're watching, as you're listening today, that when your world comes crashing down, wear your scars to show how a phoenix feels like to die from inside, and trust in your own capability to rise from your own ashes. Since the phoenix has to die first, burn, experience pain before resurrection from its own ashes. Please write this down, or write this down in conclusion. Resilience to greatness. Resilience to greatness. If I can be honest with you, I don't know what goals maybe you've set for the next 6 months, but here's one thing I know about you. You are destined for greatness. Inside of you, God has put seeds of excellence. Those seeds are supposed to grow and flourish. But many people have become crippled by their past encounters, and some have stepped over other people to get to the top. But I believe that God has a better plan for every one of us. Your objective is what you were designed for and the reason why you live today. With God, I believe that we're all destined for greatness as long as we follow His strategy. This is when the growth commences because discovering your gift and following God's idea will make you understand that you have everything around you to reach to your full potential. My everyday inspiration, Mr. Les Brown, he once said, if you had to die today, at this very moment, at this hour, what dreams, what ideas, what visions, what goals, what talents, what skills, and what books will die with you? And he also continued that the richest place on this planet is the cemetery, because that's where all the dreams, all the visions, all the goals, all the talents, all the books have been buried. Honestly, I don't know about you, but with me listening to this message, it gave me sleepless nights. And I remember very well last year I started writing Rise to Greater Heights book, and then I followed with after the George Floyd healing, I followed up with human rights. So my book Human Rights will be coming, will be published in the next month. So I can't wait to see many people reading my human rights book, because I believe that these are God given freedoms. These are God given fundamental freedoms, and no one should ever be subject to unjustified violence. And with my Rise to Greater Heights book, really, it's a comprehensive guide to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. And the resilience to greatness. Amazing, amazing co-authors in there, sharing their life experiences, changing lives one person at a time, globally, globally. And yeah, so with my Rise to Greater Heights book, really, you're going to be able to explore leadership, empowerment. Oh, and the book is right here, by the way. You're going to be able to explore leadership, empowerment, being purpose driven, mentorship, coaching, resilience to greatness, emotional intelligence, mental health, oh my God, spiritual growth, and many, many more topics. So better lay your hands on Rise to Greater Heights, and it's available on my website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. And I also have a free transformation guide on that website, www.risetogreaterheights.com. This transformation guide, trust me, it's going to turn your fears into greater success while seizing new opportunities. Growing up, I didn't have much because my father decided to have an early departure from this planet Earth. But I had everything because of my mama's love. And I love you so much, mom. So I think whosoever said that the sky is the limit was wrong. From today on, I, Nompumelelo Real Kunene, believe that the sky is our point of view. So let's all rise to greater heights. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Okay, Nompumelelo. Did I say it right?
No, Lelo, no Melelo.
Oh, Lelo, Nampulelo. There, I got it. There, I got it. Nampumelo, Real. I am
Yeah.
going to surprise you and have that correct.
Mhm.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
Without words. I'm without words. You brought it home today. Listen, you all, here's some of the takeaways. I always have my journal with me or a notebook, and I'm always
Yeah.
writing notes and learning.
Mhm.
Listen, don't let your legacy be buried in the cemetery.
Yes.
That's when you talked about that quoted Miles Monroe, the
Yes.
late Miles Monroe.
Mhm.
Don't let your talents and your gifts and those things be buried. And that's why the word came up in my heart of your legacy. Our legacy is the things that we are living out as well as leaving here, right? Because when we
Mhm.
depart, what we leave here is what we lived here.
Yeah.
And so, at Real, as you're talking about all of these things that you're doing, you are absolutely living this out. You are not letting your legacy be buried. And that's what you're encouraging everybody with today. You
Yeah.
also said to make the difference when you were talking about human rights. That's been one of the hashtags that I put at the end of everything that started at the beginning of COVID. And then, of course, going through everything when my city was on fire and
Yeah.
continuing on today, that in order for us to have a difference, we have to make a difference, right? And it
Really.
starts as a grassroots movement from the inside out. It really does. But you
Yeah.
said something that really struck me, and I was going to ask you to expound on it a little bit more. You talked about being like the lion, and then
Yeah.
you talked about the elephant and the mindset
Mhm.
of both of them. But
Yes.
that for us to make a difference, we have to be like the lion, not
Yes.
the elephant,
No.
right? We have
No.
to be like the lion and to make an difference. And so I
Mhm.
was going to ask you, could you expound a little bit more? on the lion's mindset versus the elephant's mindset, and
Mhm.
how that will impact people making a difference.
Yeah, no, thank you. Thank you for bringing that one up. If you go to the jungle, like let's travel to the jungle right now and see the giant elephant and see, like, if you look at the leg, just the leg on its own of an elephant, that elephant can just squeeze a lion with just one foot if the mindset was prepared that I am the boss in the jungle. But because things that we do in life, things that we come across in life, we feel like we just let our fears to take control over our lives. Like I'm scared of what people will think of me if I do this. I don't want to take, like, you don't have to be great to get started, like Les Brown always say, but you'll have to get started to become great. You don't have to, like, you don't have to be at the top of the staircase, but it take the first step to get to the top. That's how the mindset works. The lion already told himself that, you know what, I am the king of the jungle. It doesn't matter if you're that big elephant, I don't care. I am the king here. I own this property. I am the owner. This is my private property. So yeah, that's the mindset that we really need. Like the ownership of things that we do. Even if you fail forward. Even if you lose something, learn something from losing that thing instead of focusing on the negative. Like, oh, COVID-19 just happened. I've lost, like with me, I'm in the travel industry, everything was kind of a standstill. But instead of me like crucifying myself that, you know what, how can I build clientele? I started to venture on something else. I started writing, journaling, because I had the time on my hands. That's the mindset that we need. Instead of us like focusing on the negatives, let's try to be on the positive side. Let's try to be the bearer of good news. Let's try to be the go getters. Cultivate your mindset for success always, no matter how much you fail. But like Les Brown always say that if you happen to fall, try to fall on your back. If you can look up, it means that you can get up. That's the mindset that we need.
That's a really good way to explain that elephant versus lion mindset, because the elephant, like you said, is so much bigger and could just squish pretty much anything,
Yeah.
but hasn't developed the awareness. And
Hmm.
so, no matter what the gifting is or talent, right, that
Yeah.
that elephant has, it's laying dormant. It's going back into that grave again. That
Yeah.
don't let your legacy be buried. And you also mentioned, if we are going to make a difference, that we would use our voices to do so, right?
Hmm.
That
Yeah.
our voice matters. And, in relation to, rising to greater heights,
Hmm.
resilience to greatness, and human rights. Would you expound a little bit for us about the importance of using your voice?
Yes, yes. I always say that the change that I want to see in this world must first begin with me. So, with me, I was raised by a widow who didn't have a voice in the community, and who, like anywhere that she goes, it's gonna be more like you're an outcast. And usually, like in my country, if you're a widow, you'll have to wear black clothes. Black to me, it's not a good thing. Like if you tell me black, it's not a good thing. So yeah, being raised by that widow, growing up as an orphan, and today I'm a single mom. I told myself that, you know what, I'm gonna make a difference with whatsoever I have. I just wanna activate a global awareness and obliging resources on the dilemma of those trapped in a series of poverty. I know an orphan doesn't fit anywhere around the school playground. A single parent, she's trying by all means to provide basic needs for her children. That widow who doesn't fit anywhere in the community and whose voice has been silenced, they need a voice. So I founded my charity organization, Swazi Canadian International Foundation, back in 2017. It's a global, it's a global humanitarian and relief development organization which is here to make a difference to the less privileged, to stimulate awareness, stimulate awareness about the less privileged, the orphans, the widows, the single parents, because they need a voice. Their voice has been silenced. Like if you dive deeper into these three different individuals, you'll be so shocked that they are just going through a lot and no one is out there to pay attention on their needs. So we need those ones. Yeah, they have human rights too. They have human rights. And when you talk of social security, that's a right that they deserve because they can't afford. So they need a voice.
Wow. And just think about this, Riel. If
Mhm.
everybody listening right now
Yeah.
and watching takes that to heart and begins to use their voice in their little world, if we're all
Mhm.
reaching our little world, the whole world is going to be reached. Think about that. It's
Yeah.
powerful. So let her words sink deep into you right now because you have a voice and you have a story and it matters, and rise like that phoenix. I love that story that you shared about that, because you put the phoenix on a lot of things that represent you,
Yeah.
because you have resonated with that. But any of us out there, you out there today, you are that phoenix. I wish that you could see us, but I wish that we were all in the studio together and I could just hit the pause button on the recording and we could go around the whole studio and give you the microphone and share your phoenix story. and
Right.
and because it's powerful, and really that is what's going to make this huge difference in the world. Bring human rights to the front, make sure that we're rising together. Together we succeed, we're better together. All these things that Riel has mentioned today. I also have one more question for you. The
Okay.
only thing that stands in our way of maximizing our potential, our greatness, you said, is this: the only thing that gets in the way is not having action.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Yeah.
Wow! Okay, now that's the way to put the focus back where it needs to be, and on accountability. You
Mm-hmm.
said that. You were going on about accountability. It's so important. Now, for somebody that's sitting there going, I don't know how what action. I mean, I don't know anybody. I don't know where to start. I mean, how do I take action? I want to make a difference. What do you say to
Mhm.
that person today who is listening, watching, and saying, "Oh, Riel, Pamela, that's me. I want to take action. Where do I start? Give me a starting point."
Yeah, you know what? Honestly, action is the opposite of fear because fear can paralyze you. Fear can use you. Like they always say that fear is false evidence appearing real. So instead of you being overwhelmed by fear, go for your actions and succeed. The reason why I'm saying this, it's because I've been a prisoner for my past for so many, many years. I let fear, fear being judged, fear of failing. It just stopped me in even trying new things. I let that to roll over my mind. So if you're listening, if you're watching, I just want to encourage you. Don't let procrastination hold you back. Don't let that fear hold you back. There is this common, I think it's an expression that the shiny syndrome object, whereby you just get distracted by anything that comes your way. Okay, now people are doing this, let me do it. It's gonna paralyze you, it's gonna use you. So please, as you're listening, don't let fear hold you back. Take action. You are the one responsible for your own happiness. You are the one who is accountable for your own goals, your visions, your ideas, your dreams. Go out there and make your dream a reality, because a dream without any vision, without any goal, it's just gonna remain a dream because you haven't invested on it. So go out there, make a difference, take action, let fear stay in your behind and focus on the faith that God has already instilled within you. Like with me, what encourages me the most is Hebrews 11. Now faith is the substance of things hoped for, the evidence of things not seen. For by it we obtain a good testimony. You will never ever obtain a good testimony with fear, but with faith you will. So go out there with your faith. Trust God. Trust the universe that you can do it, and you will do it.
That is so awesome. And I love the Hebrews verse you brought up there. Faith is now. And so I want to pull that back in just for a moment. Faith is now. Faith is action now.
Yes.
If you know, as a parent, when I say
Mhm.
clean that up now, it means now, right?
Yeah.
Do it now.
Do
So
it now.
now is action. Faith is
Yeah.
action. You know what? Fear is paralysis. And sometimes fear will make a now thing happen, but it's not moving in the direction you want it to move. It's moving you backwards, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
so from what Rial has said here, if you are going to take action, which I know you all want to and that you're going to, it is actually a way, taking action is actually a way you face your fears. Think about that.
Mhm.
It is a
Yeah.
way you face it. And another word for that is being courageous. So when you
Mhm.
take that action, even if it's just a little baby step, you are
Yeah.
being courageous. You are acting in faith. Even if
Yes.
you don't feel like it, you are acting in faith. When you take even that little step of action, you are being courageous,
Yes.
which we
Take-
know is where the success is.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. Is there
Yeah.
anything else you would like to share on that, Riel?
Yeah, so when you mention take the baby steps, I always say that take the baby steps in the right direction.
Yes.
What's your goals? Yeah.
Oh, that is so good. Ah, man, this has been just so rich. I again, you also
Mhm.
talked about how we need to make the difference in
Yeah.
this world. If there's a
Mhm.
difference to be made, and we know this world needs different things, right?
Yes.
We know this world needs change. If it's really going to happen, it's going to be an inside grassroots movement, and we
Mhm.
can't just be looking off in the future without taking some responsibility and accountability, right? We can't
Yeah.
just be looking to the politicians to do it, because if the politicians could have done it, in my opinion, this isn't a political show, so just allow me this one statement, everybody. If they could have done it, they would have done it. It
Mhm.
needs to be something within us, and it has to come out of our greatness, which is what you said. And if we will become resilient to anything but that, according to what Rial has shared today, not only will we rise from the ashes and change our world, but
Mhm.
the legacy that we're going to leave, that other people are going to look at and follow, is going to continue to change the world.
Oh yeah.
Whew,
Wow.
amazing stuff you brought today.
Wow. Wow.
Wow.
I'm
Well,
like, preach on, Pastor, preach on.
that is such good stuff. What you me preach on? You brought it, girl. You brought the fire today. Anything I have said, you pulled it out of me. Rial,
Yeah.
thank you so much for being here today. I appreciate you, and I just love you so much, and I want you to know that. And to all of you that have come in and tuned in once again, I want to thank you. But I also know that you're leaving changed. And I'm going to ask you to do me a favor. Same one I ask every week. Will you please share this good news? Share this show. In fact, if you're watching it right now, which you must be because you're hearing me, there is a share button, and you can click that button. Please click that button and share this episode. You can share it on social media. You can email it to somebody. I always email it to my father-in-law. I call him my father in love. He's 92 years old, and he's such an inspiration, and he loves to watch this show. Share it. Comment when you can. You can reach out to me on social media. If we all will just do a little bit, we're making the difference, like Rial said. So again, I just want to thank you so much for tuning in today, where we do learn and grow together. Thank you so much. See you next time.
Ascend Above the Crowd is the newest course by Pamela Hinkle. Ascend is a self-paced email course that will come directly to your inbox and will change your mindset and your life. Each week, you will receive lessons, resources, challenges, and journal writings that will help you discover your purpose by design. It's your time to ascend above the crowd. To learn more about Ascend, go to www.purposewithpamela.com/ascend.
Pamela Hinkle is the founder of the Purpose Center. Pamela is a mindset mentor, author, speaker, minister, and transformation coach. Her weekly podcast, international radio show, and television show are a lifeline that changes lives and inspires people to discover their individual potential through realizing their purpose by design. Pamela is a natural motivator and has shown many how to find their niche and transform their lives. Although success is an uphill battle, Pamela gives the necessary strategies to flourish, cheering you on every step of the way. Pamela shares from her personal experiences, education, and life as a woman in leadership, utilizing decades of knowledge. Taking the approach of, let's have coffee and chat, she will awaken your dreams and purpose by design. Are you ready for Pamela to help guide you? Email us at purposewpamela.office@gmail.com or go to her website at purposewithpamela.com.